Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. And welcome back, everybody. So many of us going through some challenges in life, especially at this time. There's a lot going on. And you might have dreams, you might have aspirations and realize that they're not happening, or you feel kind of stuck in life, but you're not really sure what is the right path to move you forward. I can tell you firsthand, you can't walk that journey alone if you want to move your life forward. And many times, that's the time to reach out to somebody that can do that with you. And usually it's not a friend or family member. It is a coach, somebody to hold you accountable. So we're going to talk with somebody today that offers so much. And I love his concept in that he feels that we are all geniuses. We've got it in us. We just need to pull it out of us. Everybody is born with amazing potential to be genius. It's my belief that when babies are born, it's a clean slate. They're all the same, assuming they're both equally healthy. If you have two babies born, they have the same opportunities essentially in life. And let's begin that journey today. We're going to talk with him. Parixit Khatri joins us here on the program. Welcome. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Steve. Thank you. And it's my pleasure to be on this podcast. And thank you for inviting here.
What do you hear from people that you talk with, clients or even potential clients? What are they telling you that they're going through these days?
So there are clients are like really has like a very wide range of domain. Few are like, information technology. Few are in a financial sector. Few are just, retired and all sort of life. But the concept is like everyone is like hampered in their, mindset or their stress level or the life due to different aspects or attributes or the events happening to them. And when event occurs to the person, it puts a person into the different mindset. And that is exactly where, they seek out the help. And that is where, I try to pitch in and help people. To give you one example, Steve, it's a few years back. One of the lady, I was like, I know her. I cannot give the name, but, she was like, she had arthritis and she was really in a pain. And like when she wake up in the morning, around like a 6, 7 a.m., like just open the eyes to get into the bed from bed to the, walking state. It takes like 2 hours. She is so afraid that she will be feeling the pain as soon as she moves. And that is like so much pain. And I was like, when I learned about her, I was like, jump out of, my cell and say like, okay, what can we do? Can you go to the doctor here, there? And she had been so many doctors. She was really affected, mentally, broke, that she was feeling hopeless. And, I work with her for like, even today I'm working with her. But in a 6 month of duration, she recovered, not from medicine, but the mindset, soul set, heart set, or the life coaching techniques that I provide. She recovered like she takes start walking in a 5 minute. Like this is not some miracle. These people has that tendency that people or doctor or different people tell them, and they start consuming that emotion and start building those narrative in their mind, and that puts them back into the life, and that is where the problem begins. And to remove all those baggages, right? That is where life coach like me, myself, comes in a picture and helps individual, and that is kind of my passion too. This is just one example, but again, there are so many other things we can do as a life coach.
It's been said that only maybe 5-10% of us actually are really at our best, our peak performance in our lives, which means that there's so much more that we can attain, but we're not getting that. Do you feel that that's the case for a lot of us?
Yes, that is correct. Actually, if you see the statistics, right, and statistics by stress, statistics, singlecare.com or other like different websites. So you will see 83% of the in US people experience work related stress. 83%. That is very big number. And if you have a stress and they have come up with a number $300 billion worth of loss because of this stress impact into the work. So that's very big number. And you are absolutely right. These peak performance that we are thriving will not come until we work on ourselves. And to cover some of the aspects, see what I have done over the year. I have authored one book, Look Within to Take Back What Is Yours, in 2022. And that has 11 different concepts, tools that I have, introduced in a depth with meditation techniques. So people can go through and, learn about how you can improve on a day-to-day life and improve their performance as well, while living the best life they can with any situation is on your plate.
Parixit, what do you think is the main thing that holds us back? Is it, some believe, and I'd love your feedback on this, that it's stuff that was in our childhood, just normal stuff that we may have internalized, and that's where the quote unquote limiting belief is coming in, and that's putting up the block for us to move forward. Do you think that that's the case?
Yes. So there is a various take we can do. So one is the atmosphere or the people or environment that you are surrounded with. That itself create our subconscious attitude, or it start building habits and subconscious thought processes, which without your conscious mind, you are making those decisions. And so those are definitely key factors. And while doing all those things, right, today's world, if we think of New York, New Jersey, tri-state area and around that, right, people are going after, wealth. They are, and when they say wealth and all the stress, related to the wealth, they start thinking I have to earn this money, I have to do this work, and then why they are working, that concept get lost, and they just get caught into the vicious cycle of accumulating the wealth. Rather than wealth, it is more of the money and related things they start accumulating. And that is where Steve, I can go deep dive probably. If you think it is appropriate, I can, we can kind of go in a deep on that section.
I want to go there, but just a question popped in my head. What do you think is the biggest lesson you've learned in your journey with everything that is happening in your life? What's the biggest thing that you've learned recently?
So recently, 2021, around that area, COVID hit, right? Mm-hmm. So when COVID hit, not just me, it is a story of many people who are start reset. They push the reset button, and I was not the different person. I also, when I was standing in patient care and waiting for my test to be happen, and I was having flu, I was thinking this might be last few days of my life. I don't know. I will be positive, negative, and so at that moment I was thinking, what have I done in my life until now? Is there something worth that I lived? Then I start collecting all those, souvenirs of my life, and that is where I jumped uh, onto this life coaching journey, where I want to pursue my, passion to help people. And that is the biggest lesson that, yeah, we all do for ourselves, but we need to do something for others and society as well.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. And many times, I love to. Everybody's got a story, and we all learn.
Yeah.
And I'm fascinated by everyone's story. Normally, I say, "What got you into what you're doing?" I wasn't expecting that. I was just looking for the lesson, but the lesson got you into helping others through life coaching.
Yeah.
And
Right.
as you described it, I have to tell you, I felt it. I felt it like I was there with you, where you question your mortality. You question, and at that moment, you questioned, what have I done with my life? What have I given to others? Profound. Wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's true. And you won't believe, Steve, in my first book, Look Within to Take Back What's Yours, there is a first chapter is a title with the death of Mr. It's a chapter of death and life. That is how I started. So first book I had done, it's like a, meditation, also exercise I put in. That is more of like a mental thought process, and that will build one's personal life. So rather than thinking forward, we need to start thinking backward. In the sense, let's say death is the last day. Today is our last day on the earth, and what I have done. Do I have any regret? Uh,
Mm.
should I have lived my today differently, or my life until now differently? So now you have perspective how you want to live. So from that point onward, once you note down those points, you start, okay, tomorrow or even today, if I have thought these things, have I done anything for this point today? Or tomorrow I'm going to do that will make my that particular day happy or worth living. And that is a one kind of, one diamond into the necklace, you would say, as living the genius life that
Mm.
I, you know, thrive everyone to live for.
Part of me doesn't want to think what you're describing. I don't want to think about it. It's uncomfortable. But then another part of me
Yeah.
is like, I want to dig into that because it's so impactful. And it's almost,
Right.
they call
You're
it
right.
reverse engineering. Reverse engineering.
Yes.
We're taking it from the end and working our way back. When you say genius, discovering that the genius within, how do you define genius?
Okay, so that's very good. So when I say I am a genius life coach, what I mean is I am a genius life coach, in the sense coaching the genius life. I'm coaching for genius life rather than I'm saying I am a genius, because everyone is genius. So what is the difference? There is no difference. But what I'm thriving or what I'm coaching is for genius life. Now coming to the question, what is a genius life? So genius life is defined many different ways. Someone say I want to live successful life. Like one person say I want to live the richest life. Another person say I want to live healthy life. Another person say I want to live fulfilling, in the sense family life. Another person say I want to live life that is kind of a balance, not too much money, not too much stress, but with a good amount of family time. So all those definitions are defined differently, but ultimately everyone is striving for that harmony, that best combination. And this best combination is person dependent. If you remove the person out of this equation, there is nothing best, because best for one person is not the best for the another person. So it's the authenticity of that person. We need to understand the quality, but I cannot understand that quality of that person until I talk to that person. I walk or work with that person, and person has to understand his perspective. his inner core belief, core habits, core DNA, you would say. Once he understands all those aspects, that is when we can start carving, uh, you know, uh, carving his best life. He would be happy, blissful. The successful he would consider, full would consider or she would consider. And that particular life, I'm calling as a genius life. And I'm coaching that life or that best life for that person. That is called genius life. So that is how I consider genius life coach. And, that is how I have a website also with I discover genius within. Uh, so genius in the sense of genius to live the genius life rather than genius in being a nuclear physics or AI specialist. So yeah, that reminds me, I did nuclear physics also, and now I'm in a technology also. So that is my primary focus and profession also, while I'm doing the life coaching, Steve.
Oh my gosh, I wasn't aware. I want to make sure I heard that clearly. A science background?
Yeah, yeah. I
Wow.
did a nuclear physics major. There are very few seats of nuclear physics was available, and I was the one lucky one to be part of five selected seats, and uh, after that, of course, I switched to the computer science because computer was cutting edge, and I did my mastery also in a computer science, and now doing a primarily with the professional, like a global technology leader. And this one, I'm also working from a couple of years. That is basically since COVID hit us, that kind of fire the passion within me. And that is when I started, helping and thriving for my passion. Sorry for my pronunciation.
No, no, I totally understand it, and I'm fascinated that you come from that background. Um, it just gives a different perspective coming from a science background.
Yeah.
Lots to talk about next time we get together, but I really want to look at some of the packages that you offer within coaching to support others. Can you give us a couple of thoughts on that?
Yeah. So let me tell you the statistics, right? So one thing I mentioned is 83% of the people are already stressed, right, due to the work related. And we are in a prime location of New York and New Jersey. A lot of people are stressed, right? And a lot of people are, in a different age, like 33 to 34 year group. We have 77% of this people due to the stress impacted. Then 55 to 64 are age are 63%. These are all stats available in online, and even uh, uh, from 18 to 34, even surprisingly uh, stressed out. So all those are telling me, this is the area. Even if I help in a very few percentage, or even people in a whatever capacity, that would be I would be feeling fulfilled that I have helped people. And considering that I have carved this stress packages is very cheap, compared to other life coach as well as the techniques that I provide, and you will see the result. And of course, we are doing a podcasting, and there is a good amount of discount. So I think it would be good if anyone want or interested can reach out to me on support at discovergeniuswithin.com, or just go to 1gcoach.com website and reach out to me. That would be great.
Final questions I want to pose to you.
Hmm.
Who is the perfect person? How would you describe that somebody that would be a perfect candidate for life coaching in your programs?
Perfect life coaching is like someone is just a graduated, and just putting leg in industry or the career, and now his or the person is overwhelmed with all the things happening around it, that consider the growth. the person will be looking for the growth from the personal growth as well as from the economic growth. I think that would be the perfect fit that I can coach, because I have lived through the career, and I'm still in a cutting edge AI technology and career. And in addition to that, I can help them in a coaching the how to live the genius life. So around, I would say 35 to 45 or and 45 to 55, that will be the perfect age group if one is interested.
And the best way to reach you, what is that?
It's a number one, G for Genius, coach.com. That is a URL you can hit, or you can directly send me on that website. There is a phone number. You can reach me there, or support@discovergeniuswithin.com. That is the email address that people can reach me.
I want to share with you a word that you said, and everything very insightful today on the whole process.
Yeah.
and how you got to this point. You said a word that really resonates with me, and I feel others as well. Blissful.
Yeah.
Such a wonderful word. And in my journey, I equate that word with this one, peace. Finding peace in your life. And you don't know that it's missing until you find it, or you feel that something's not right. I don't know what it is. Things are relatively okay in life, but something's not there. But when you find that peace, that inner peace, that bliss, it's life-changing. And for me, it didn't happen alone. You can't.
Yeah.
Normally, you can't find it. You need somebody else to point it out.
Yeah.
And also accountability.
Yes. You are nailing, Steve. So you won't believe most of the people, at the end of the life, towards the end of the life, people actually realize what should they have been doing. Like you can take the example of Steve Jobs, right?
Yeah.
The one of the most brilliant innovator of our time, right?
Yeah.
He left behind a legacy that reshaped the whole world. And in his final stage of life,
Yep.
he reflected what truly mattered. And in his biography, he mentioned, right, in the end, wealth isn't measured by money. It is measured by the memories you create and the people you hold dear. Now, think about this. Steve Jobs, okay? He has achieved every single thing that you can imagine, and still he's regretting that he could have done something different. Now you can think, you could do much better. If let's say Steve Jobs know this much earlier, he would have done something about it. But again, I'm not talking about Steve Jobs, but rather ourselves.
I totally understand what you're saying. And that truly resonates with me, and I'm going to share this with you. I took a personality profile recently to identify your strengths, and his personality apparently is similar to mine. So then I started studying more about him very recently. I'm talking in the last couple of days. And to illustrate your point, doesn't matter how much money you have. In the end, that didn't help him. Yes, he had some experimental treatments that prolonged his life, maybe a little bit longer. But in the end, it wasn't about the wealth. It's about what you've done so far. And I appreciate you for bringing that point up. You're not an ordinary life coach. There's many out there, and that's great. But you harness spiritualism and also energy through Reiki, yoga, meditation, and that's part of what transformed me into realizing a lot of what we're talking about. Parixit, great talking with you today. Thanks for being here, and definitely looking forward to digging back into all of this and helping people transform. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Appreciate it.
It's nice to having on your podcast, and looking forward to next.
Likewise. We'll be right back. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup.
Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her?
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge?
Got to get this all straightened out. Give a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve! Is now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend?
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.